Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Fate Reforged Swiss draft. Okay, so Rally the Ancestors is the rare. We're not going to take that. I think we're just going to take the best mono-colored card because I actually do like Harsh Sustenance quite a bit, but I don't want to jump into black-white right away. I think we're looking at Merciless Executioner or Douse and Gloom, and I'm not sure which one I like more. My heart kind of tells me Douse and Gloom. The reason being, being able to aim removal to me is better than just making them sacrifice. But I mean, this also can net you a warrior, and in certain situations can be better. It's tough. Douse and Gloom also gains you life though, which I think I like more. Really, the choice is between Executioner and Douse and Gloom for me. Those are the two cards I'm really looking at. And my heart is telling me Douse and Gloom, so I'm going to take that one. I feel like there's enough tokens in this format where Executioner could be not good enough. I actually do like the card, though. All right, well, follow up with a Douse and Gloom seems fine. Keeps us in black. Get another removal spell. There's also a Bathe in Dragonfire in here. But not much beyond that. Douse and Gloom, Bathe in Dragonfire, and Whisk Away seem like the three most powerful cards in here, so all right. Douse and Gloom number 2. I'm okay with that. Okay, interesting. Well, there's a Shamanic Revelation in here, which is a rare, and I've said countless times now that this is a rare-driven format. But I think we're just going to take the Reach of Shadows. Keeps us in black even more, and it's a great card. I mean, just getting stocked up on removal right now, I feel like is going to be beneficial when it boils down to it. There's also a Sandstep Outcast in here. Which is one of the mini cards I was kind of talking about why Merciless Executioner would not be that is actually like just very weak against Sandstep Outcast. Granted, Douse and Gloom's not very good against Sandstep Outcast either, but Executioner I feel like is even worse since they can just sack a token or their 2/1 ground guy. Let's take the Reach. I think that's Shamanic Revelation is an actual good card too, by the way, but I'm going to take Reach of Shadows for sure. Okay. Choices now. We've got Gurmag Angler, we have Typhoid Rats. Typhoid Rats is a nice cheap spell. Typically getting cheap spells is more difficult than getting expensive spells. There's a Whisperer of the Wilds in here, which is quite good. This isn't necessarily a Whisper of the Wilds deck. That is a late enough Whisper of the Wilds where maybe it is time to jump into green. Plus, we were past that Shamanic Revelation, which is interesting. I'm still sort of just leaning on Typhoid Rats versus Gurmag Angler. Both of these cards are good enough in black where I don't want to take a Whisper just to take a green card. I do like Ramp, but I'm not exactly sure which one I want. I think I'm going to take the Angler, just based on the fact that we've got 3 removal spells already. I feel like that could pay off pretty well for us. Okay, choices here. Hooded Assassin. There's a Thornwood Falls, which would help us move us into like a Sultai deck, I guess. But I think I'm okay taking Hooded Assassin. It's actually not that great of a card, but it's a 2/3 body that could potentially be good. We continue to cut black and not commit to a second color yet. And see what's getting past. All right, that's a late Whisper of the Wilds for sure. So I think I'm going to take the Whisperer here over the Hooded Assassin. I don't regret taking the Angler over the Whisperer, but I think taking the Whisperer over the Hooded Assassin here seems fine, even if we don't end up in green. Which at this point I think we will if we're getting 6th pick Whisper of the Wilds, which by the way is a world of difference from a 4th pick Whisper of the Wilds. But let's take the Whisperer here. Not even necessarily commit to green, but it does definitely seem like green is open from this direction. Okay, so some satisfactory cards here, but nothing like too crazy. There's a Guide. There's a Mastodon, another Hooded Assassin, and a Vanguard. None of these cards are like crazy good. Frontier Mastodon has probably the most potential upside because if you get 4 power guys, you can power out a 4-3 for 3, which is pretty nice, or it's a 3-2 for 3, which is okay. Possibly not as good as a 2-3 with another ability. I think I'm gonna take the second Hooded Assassin here. I think it's not insanely good, but 2-3s for 3 are usually pretty acceptable. All right, we'll take a Feral Crew Shock here. I think not really giving up too much there. All right, it's a late Emissary, so happily taking that. I think we effectively cut black off relatively nice and early. All right, Sibzig Host is not an amazing card, but it could be good. There's also a Fruit of the First Tree, which I guess if I had like sack outlets would be at least playable. But let's take the Sibzig Host, which is not a great card, but does make Delve cheaper. Okay, so there's a Formless Nurturing, but I think we're actually going to take the Ruthless Instincts, which is a trick that I think I like more, especially with, 2-3s. Could be good defensive blocking sort of thing. All right, Ethereal Ambush is a card. I think we're going to actually take the Rite of Undoing, which is a card I'd prefer to have if we end up in Sultai. Either way, I have to commit to blue, but Rite of Undoing I think is potentially better. None of these cards matter. Actually, I'm going to hate the Pressure Point because it's the best card of the remaining of those. We'll let somebody play Breakthrough Line, and we'll signal that we're not red. And I get a foil planes out of it, not to be overlooked. Okay, so great start to the deck. We appear to be, we're certainly black. We're likely green, just from the late Whisper of the Wilds. Once again, I need to reiterate, I don't regret the Gurmag Angler over the Whisper, because Angler currently is like our best finisher that we got in here. So no regrets when it comes to that. Okay, pretty tempted to take the Ice Feather Aven here. It's certainly a good card, and even though it does at this point solidify us into a Sultai deck, it's just a very powerful card. It's certainly the most powerful card here for us, potentially. Otherwise, there's Abomination of Gadul, which more likely, well, I think tables if no one's in Sultai. Treasure Cruise, which is good, and Awaken the Bear. But if I'm going to take a card that makes me go into blue, I think I'm just going to take the Aven, which I like quite a bit. So, okay. So now we actually need some Sultai fixing, I think, if we're going to make these blue cards work. Oh, geez. Well, there is a fixer here, but I think I'd rather take a second Ice Feather Aven. It's a very good card. Bouncing Dudes is very good. We already have a couple finishers, but we need some more explosive ones. But just getting some flyers is pretty good alongside our removal. And actually, Ice Feather Aven with Rite of Undoing is pretty good synergy, too. Albeit a bit expensive to do some bouncing, but you can get some good tempo plays there, I think. All right, double Ice Feather Aven. Trail of Mystery, you say. There's another Thornwood Falls. How many manifest? We have this as a manifest. All right, that's a manifest, dude. Double Ice Feather Aven. That's it so far, but it's probably early enough where we can just take the trail, and if we pick up, quite a few more morphs, it gets much better. Otherwise, I'd probably just slam the Thornwood Falls, but there's quite a bit of upside to Trail of Mystery, I think, potentially, and it's early enough where it could pay off. Okay, Grizzly gives us some 4 power, which is good. Highland Game is cheaper. We already have quite a few 3 drops, but Grizzly is certainly better than Highland Game, and especially with like Ruthless Instincts or something like that. I think I'm going to take the Grizzly. I like how it plays better defensively, although it is more expensive. We already do have quite a few 3 drops. I still like Grizzly. I mean, I think I even like Grizzly more than Hooded Assassin, I think. Depending on how our final deck looks, of course, but all right, let's take the Grizzly here. It's a pretty strong card. All right, Ruthless Ripper seems great. I think we're just slamming the Ripper because we have the Trail of Mystery. There's also a Sultai Scavenger, which would be good. And even a Force Away would be fine, but yeah, we got to slam the Ripper here. All right, Sultai Charm seems pretty attractive. There is a Dismal Backwater too, but if I'm playing Sultai, I kind of want to take a Sultai Charm. I got to be honest. I want this Dismal Backwater, but Charm is a little bit too good to pass up here, I think. Okay. Well, we might have passed all of our opportunities for fixing, but I don't regret any of the picks. I kind of wanted these cards. They're very strong. And Trail of Mystery at least helps us fix if we can find enough morph dudes, which I'm hoping we will. We're going to take another one here in Monastery Flock, which is a good way to buy some time. All right, Swarm of Bloodflies versus Sidisi's Pet. I think Swarm is a better card. Sidisi's Pet works better with Trail of Mystery, and I would like to have an adequate amount of morph in this deck to be motivated. Currently, we have 5 things that even work with Trail of Mystery. Emissaries manifest when it dies, and these 4 morphs. Sidisi's Pet is just significantly worse than Swarm of Bloodflies, though, so I think I'm going to take the Swarm. Okay, Abomination. There's also Savants, but Savants seem difficult to play in here. I guess Abomination's not too easy to play either, but it's got more upside than Glacial Stalker does, so alright. Water Whirl seems a bit too color intensive with no fixing currently. I guess we'll take the Attendants, which is a fine card. Alright, Rite of the Serpent, sure. So we already have a deck, which just means we need fixing. So out of the next pack, I'm pretty much just slamming any on-color fixing that I see. Hopefully. Alright, second Abomination's pretty nice. We'll just take the rare, whatever. It's not a card I want to play, but whatever. Okay, so we have more than enough playables, which is a good problem to have. The problem is we don't have any fixing, so gotta focus on fixing this pack. It was hard to value fixing at all, just because we picked up so many good cards. Geez, Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino's a couple tickets, so pretty motivated to take that. What am I giving up for it? I'm giving up a Soothsayer, but there's a good chance that tables. I think I'm just taking tickets here. Alright, still valuing fixing high. This one fixes for us, so I think we'll take that. It actually potentially lets us play, I guess, Siege Rhino too, but we'll see. If that pans out, I'll try and make it work, but I would say considering how low we are on fixing currently, well, I guess there is another one. What am I giving up for it? Bondkin, which I think is actually pretty good for us, giving us more morph. And I guess we need a little more stopping power. But if I take the Blossoming Sands, I likely can play Siege Rhino. And maybe I cut the blue, but then no, that's going to be too tough. I got to play blue too. I've got enough playables, so I'm not going to take the Bondkin. Although, how many morph do I have? I have enough to make Trail of Mystery work in here, I think, already. I guess I am taking the Blossoming Sands. I need some good stopping power of Siege Rhino, I think. Alright, I guess we're taking Soothsayer here. No fixing. That's too bad. Alright. No fixing here, which could indeed be problematic. Could take Tusk Colossedon. Guess it's something big to do. Not sure I need it. Could take the Secret, I guess, actually. We have a few Delve. Alright. Let's take Secret. I don't know if we're playing it, though. Geez. No fixing again. There's a Treasure Cruise in here. We don't have any card draw currently. Guess Treasure Cruise could be okay. Otherwise, Sidisi's Pet is more morph, which is good with Trail of Mystery. And it's a cheap one to unmorph. I already feel like blue's going to be difficult to play in this deck. But Sidisi's Pet helps fix. Yeah, I think we kind of need it. I like the Treasure Cruise too, but I'm not sure this deck needs card draw, to be honest. Alright, Archer's Parapet maybe buys us some time. It's something to do cheap. Otherwise, Blood-Soaked Champ is a fine card too, but we don't look particularly beat down. We look more like buy some time to the late game and win. Well, we have some flyers. I think because I want some good ground defense because we have good flyer plan, actually. Loxodon's a big dude. I think we'll take that. I can take the Archer. We might actually end up just green-black. I might not have enough fixing to make these blue cards work, but God, that doesn't seem right. It's just our mana base is going to be atrocious because I unfortunately picked up some important cards for the deck and was hoping to see some in pack 3, but I think we missed every single opportunity to get blue mana in here, sadly. Dutiful Return might actually... I'm not going to play a banner, I don't think. I'll take it anyway, but I don't think we're playing it. Alright, so mana base fail on this deck in every way, shape, or form you can imagine, which really makes me want to play 2-color, but playing 2-color makes us lose out on some very powerful blue cards, unfortunately. Yeah. Managed to get 0 4-drops in this deck, which is just actually unbelievable to me since 4-drops are typically the easiest thing to get in the entire game. Typically I end up with too many 4-drops. Now I ended up with like no 4-drops, which is just very strange. I think we can actually make a mediocre black-green deck, as sad as that is, but considering we have 0 fixing, I'm actually at this point I'm more tempted to just cut all of our blue and then like run a Siege Rhino and just play black-green, splash white for that. I think actually we're probably going to do that just because we got 0 fixing. Actual 0 fixing for our colors. So if I do this, I guess Trail of Mystery gets infinitely worse. So final count with Trail of Mystery, if I were to run it like this, would be 1 for that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 total. That's completely unacceptable. That is absolutely not enough to run Trail of Mystery. Absolutely not enough. So I could run Secret, I guess, as my 23rd card in here. I could do something like this. Then, like I said, I don't even want to run Trail of Mystery with that few morph. It's not even worth it. So maybe I don't have enough playables at that point. Sadly, I may have to make the blue work in here. I don't want to run 18 lands. I don't think that's necessary. I want to make the blue work in here, but our mana base is just going to be so abysmally bad. Just abysmally bad. I have no idea if I want to run 3-color with a horrible mana base or 2-color that's mediocre at best. I think we have to go for horrible mana base, more powerful cards, as much as I loathe to admit that. I hate to play a bad mana base deck, but these cards are all too important, I think, to not play, as depressing as that makes me. I think we need them. So instead, we're going to cut stuff, and we have to play this Trail of Mystery. So we're going to cut the unexciting cards like Sibsig Host. Guess we want that too, and this. If we're playing Trail. Okay, so let's cut the worst of the worst cards here. I almost don't want the Rite of the Serpent because I want to minimize any color-intensive spells beyond, the morphs. I think Siege Rhino's done. I'm not going to go for that, even though I've got the Sandstep Citadel and Blossoming Sands. We're just not going to make that work. I can minimize blue in this deck. Maybe that helps. I kind of don't want to cut any of my morphs, so maybe I cut the Hooded Assassins. Because our morphs are actually the driving force motivator of this Trail of Mystery. And we have enough to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the Emissary. Yeah, that's a good number. Let's cut the Secret. Let's cut some of our delve, because like maybe I cut the attendants, keep the angler. I could see that. I feel like our finishers are good already. Let's cut the attendants. I'm on the fence about cutting the Rite of Undoing, although it is good with the Avens. I kind of, like I said, I kind of don't want to cut any morph because of the Trail of Mystery and because our deck has no fixing, so being able to at least play Grey Ogres on turn 3 seems like something that would be valuable. I think we can probably cut the Hooded Assassins. They're not bad, but I've got enough creatures already, and like I said, I'd rather play the Morph. We've probably got enough 3-drops already. And then I just need to make one more cut, because I think we are. Although, I think actually, I might have to do, yeah, I think I got to do 18 lands, just because we have 0 fixing. If I didn't have 0 fixing, this would easily be a 17 land deck, but actual 0 pieces of fixing I think I've got to do. I think I got to do 18. Yeah, 0 pieces of fixing is just too few. I guess I have 1. But I need to make one more cut. Might actually be the Grizzly. Because like I said, I want to keep all my morph. And I'd rather have the good blocker. I want the Emissary for the trail too. Alright, I guess we're cutting Grizzly. I'm not thrilled about that, but I think we got to run it like this. This is actually... Oh, I got to make another cut if I want to run 18 lands? Jeez. I probably should. I mean, look at the curve. That's a high curve. Look at all these 5-drops I need. I need to get to 5 mana, at least, to win this game. Or to win a game, I should say. I mean, granted, Sagu Archer seems like the weakest, only because Sidisi's Pet is cheaper to unmorph. But Sagu Archer unmorphing with Trail is pretty good. You can catch a flyer out of nowhere, which is pretty nice. Alright, I should make one more cut, and I don't know what it is. Maybe the Ruthless Instincts, although I like it. I want to keep all my morph. Alright, I'm cutting Ruthless Instincts. I decided suddenly. We've got an adequate amount of removal with Double Douse and Gloom, Sultai Charm, Reach of Shadows, Rite of Undoing. So, okay. So we're playing 18 lands. I want to play 17, but not with 0 fixing and this much color in our deck. Alright, I think we're going to do it as even a split as possible amongst our 3 colors. So we already have a black and a green, which means 7, 7, 5. Ugh, that is ugly. That is ugly. What if I do 7, 6, 6? But our early spells are green. I might, God, Whisper of the Wilds with 6 green sources. It seems not that good. 18 lands too with Whisper of the Wilds, but look at this. This is 18 lands and we still have like terrible 3 colors. I don't know what to do different. I feel like we need at least 6 to make these blue cards function, at least 6 to get the green, and likely 7 to make these. Maybe I actually do 6 black, 7 green. I need the black the most, but I only need 1. I kind of need green to get Trail of Mystery and Whisper out. I don't know, man. All right. Ultimately, I think this deck turned out to be pretty weak. Sadly, we have powerful cards in here, but our fixing is too abysmal. I passed up some fixing opportunities for cards at the time that felt like better choices, like Sultai Charm, Ice Feather Raven, Trail of Mystery. So, seems like it could very likely come back and bite us, but overall, I rate this deck at about, oops. Man, and I'm running low on time. I'd rate this deck probably like a 6 out of 10. I don't think we've got a great shot at hitting our lands the way we need them, when we need them. So ultimately, I'm disappointed with how this deck turned out. It's got powerful spells, but we're going to have a hard time casting them because our mana base is just rife with issues. And we have ramp and we're running 18 lands. So yes, this deck has a lot of issues, unfortunately. But we're going to run it like this. We're going to hope to see our 3 colors. And if we can see our 3 colors, I like what our spells can do. So, all right, trying it like this. We'll see you round 1.